Have you ever struggled to attract consistent high quality leads for your business? Most solopreneurs stay stuck in an endless cycle, wasting time talking to prospects who can do no good to your business. But regardless of whether you're a financial advisor or interior designer, today I'm going to show you three efficient practices which, if you adopt in your marketing, not only will it filter out the noise and repel the wrong audience, but it'll also help you particularly with the third step I'm going to show you in this video to find out how to make an offer that only your desired clients will value so much they won't mind the premium price they have to pay to get their hands on it. My name is Daniel Hogg, and I spent 6 long years myself struggling to find the right clients for a music education business that I had been running. And I realized these kind of problems I faced, I was not alone, which is why I started to share my first-hand experiences in these videos so that I could help business owners like you avoid making the same mistakes that I did. Mistakes like never asking myself this question: who is the kind of customer that I want to serve at the highest level? And I see many solopreneurs making the same mistakes. They never seem to ask this question of themselves. In fact, tell me if you agree in the comments below that have you not heard this advice before too? Who is your ideal customer? But no one ever told you how to exactly come to a good answer, isn't it? But that is the first skill I had to learn, which started changing the way that I marketed my offers. To attract the kind of leads who would value the services I provide way more than the dull headed average consumerist market. The kind that would pay but never show up. The kind that would create problems and raise complaints. The kind who, no matter what you do for them, they'll never value your brand sincerely enough to tell others about it, or just they'll end up bad mouthing about you because they couldn't see the value you truly have to provide. And that is why, by adopting the three practices that I'm going to show you today in a moment, which are so crucial not only for your success in marketing, but also to achieve a sense of fulfillment that you need to feel in the work that you have chosen to do today, so that you can make it better, bring about a change for the few perfect clients who would value you so much for it. Let's break it down. The first practice you'll need to develop to attract the right clients is exclusion filtering. It's easy to say, I want to work with people who earn a lot and can play a lot. But that is not a very helpful question to ask, because not everyone who is willing to pay a lot is the right customer for your unique business. You might find after working with a lot of clients, and though some people pay a lot, they don't really actively value what you served them with, and they demanded even more unreasonably. So instead, a better pathway would be to identify all the kinds of people who you don't want to work with based on things like their psychological frame, personality traits, and background experiences. For example, let's take the example of a flower shop vendor. What kind of customers does the flower shop vendor need to avoid so that their business can actually prosper by working with only the right kind of clients? Maybe male customers who just need to buy some quick flowers for their partner's birthday is not the kind of clients that this flower vendor wants to work with, as he knows that it won't lead to those customers coming back anytime soon. Maybe their choice in flower picking is so bad that their partner was mad at them for picking up flowers as an excuse for forgetting her birthday. And now, this customer, after going through the experience, will not ever feel the need to buy flowers again to avoid that kind of a reaction. Now, that's just one example of the deep thought you will need to put in your marketing once you see how people behave, not only before a purchase, but also after a purchase, to find the kinds of people who do not value your services. So, once you identify them, you can actually focus all your efforts on the kind of people who would end up valuing your services in the long run. So, it's a matter of exclusion. You need to find who you cannot serve, who would not value you, so that you can find the people who actually will. For example, in this flower vendor case, somebody who, after dealing with so many low minded customers, finally found a spiritual lady who constantly keeps coming back to search for new flowers to decorate her office with. A devotional theme where she holds meditational sessions with her clients. This kind of customer, once made happy with the quality and the kind of flowers on sale, becomes a lifetime customer for this vendor. And she doesn't mind paying the high prices to keep the supply fresh and ready every week. It is my word to you that if you do this kind of exclusion filtering in your constant interaction with prospects and current clients and new leads, if you can just put deep thought into this before finalizing it for the messaging in your marketing, where your offers are oriented towards the specific needs of the kind of customers that you want to serve. Like the needs of this meditational coach who the flower vendor chose to serve, you will also be able to laser focus effectively on how to attract the right kind of clients straight towards you. The second practice you will want to learn to attract your ideal client is past journey mapping. Everything someone values at a certain level is based on their past experiences. For example, I had purchased an electrical socket plug once to connect my laptop to the wall socket for the electric supply, and I was looking for the cheapest one to buy. But after 1 year, I realized how this cheap electrical socket I bought kept on releasing electrical sparks from time to time from the wall socket constantly. And it disconnected my power supply from the laptop until I fiddled with it. Fiddling with the socket would release more electric sparks. And after about half an hour of fiddling, did my laptop finally power up again. When I thought about the dangers of such loose connection with the electricity in my house, I pondered about accidents, about my life and the life and security of my family members who live in this home. And even though electrical sockets are the least concern for us, this cheap socket kept worrying me in my mind until I decided to go back to a shop and I was presented with the same style of cheap socket. My first response was no. I'd rather get something of a much better quality and ended up buying a socket that was 5 times more expensive because it satisfied my inner desire to keep myself and my family safe. When you deal with leads and discuss their problems or talk to your current customers, do you find elements of their past that directly connects to how much they value your service today? Because if the past has not caused pain, if the past has not been wrought with bad outcomes for them, if in the past they have not paid for services that completely didn't help them at any level, no matter how many promises you make to these kinds of people today, internally, their perceived value in your offer won't be as high as you'd like them to be. But once you understand someone's past, once you understand why they are in pain, you will find people who are in different journeys in achieving their goals. Select the people based on past experiences that has left them in a state of dissatisfaction, where in spite of all their efforts, they haven't been able to achieve what they always wanted. Because of which, all the competitors' offers in the market makes them so skeptical to try anything ever again. And then create your marketing message around the truth of their past in honesty, in trust, instead of spamming remarkable offers that don't mean anything to these kinds of people anymore. Make your offers to elevate their pain first, to attract the right clients towards you, and then show these right clients the possibilities of them achieving their goals in realistic, practical ways through small wins and successes. And the final practice that you have to master is the controversial offer. The purpose here is not to create controversy, but to create a solution that is detested by most people, which in the first practice you have decided you can't work with and don't want to serve at all. Here's what most business coaches and consultants would advise you to do when creating an offer. Make it irresistible, make it a no-brainer, make it too good to be true. But in the real world, there are two problems with that advice. One, if you make something so appealing that everyone falls for it, you will end up attracting everyone, the masses, which according to the topic of this video, you don't want, since most people are tire kickers. Or even if they pay, they may not lead to long-term value for your business, since they simply fell for the offer appeal and not the truth of their own real circumstance. Kind of like selling cakes that are so tasty, it makes everyone buy till their stomachs can't stand the gastric reactions of the excessive cream added to the cake to make it desirable in the first place. The other problem about a super attractive offer is that even though it will attract the masses, it might, on the contrary, make your ideal client run in the opposite direction, since they have fallen for such promises before and never received a promised outcome. So a controversial offer is one that goes so far against popular preference, most people would just not find it worth their time, or too complicated to execute, or too difficult to use. I understand that in such cases, you risk creating an offer that no one wants, leading to your entire marketing effort falling flat on its face. So, yes, you do have to be careful here. But here's a simple template that can help you achieve the sweet spot of a controversial offer that only the right client of your business will feel extremely attracted to. Choose your enemy, avoid guarantees, demand accountability. Let's break this down one by one. Choose your enemy. If your offering only serves a promise, it can actually sound pretty boring and can lose the intended effect on your ideal client. But when your offering goes against conventional wisdom and practices, when your offering has intrinsic morals which actively disqualifies the wrong people, and when your offering actively talks about the hard work that it actually takes to achieve the outcome but through an unconventional path, these things can make your offer stand out. If a dog store only serves customers who are willing to take great care to train their dogs, it might totally repel casual pet owners. But it will attract the kind of pet owners who take great care to find the perfect breed to adopt and nurture them for competitions and dog shows. People who have more reason to come to such a shop because this dog store upholds their values as one of their own. Number two, avoid guarantees. Guarantees are great for low price offers that make impulse purchases happen. But when you're working with a specific client who has a specific pain resulting from those specific past experiences, all guarantees actually look like a spam to them. What your controversial offer can provide in this situation is the promise of putting them in a better position to succeed than in the position they are currently stuck in. A position that past enemies seem to have led them towards. A new pathway is always met with resistance. You have to understand this. And so when you offer them this new position for success, it should not be decorated with fancy hopes and temporary desires. It should agree rather with them on how they have been tormented before. And so they need to become a new person to let go of that painful past. But for example, let's say I have a bachelor friend who just had a breakup. As his friend, I can very happily offer to introduce him to one of my friends, female friends, who they can start dating and start a brand new relationship with, which may temporarily make them forget about their heartbreak. But the person has not had the time to heal. This person has not had the time to develop their own self esteem. And few weeks down the road, maybe even this new relationship can end up in bitter abandonment. Had I instead offered my friend to focus on his own ambitions, to focus on exercising, to focus on God, and return to prayer for strength, had he genuinely seen me offer this alternative to him, he would have known that I have a better interest for him in my heart. Finally, demand accountability. This is the one where most solopreneurs, including me, never paid attention. We are the ones who are supposed to be accountable, right? We are the ones who take the money. We are the ones who should provide the value, right? But in your attempt to create value for the marketplace, you're losing foresight on what the right client actually means. The right client is the one who pays not only by money, but also in time and also in effort. The first time that I became very rich was because I created such an appealing offer that I got so many guitar students that I could handle. But not one of these students stayed to learn. Not one of these students practiced. Where would I get testimonials from if people just join by paying and then disappear because at the end of the day, it was just a hobby for them? Playing guitar, compared to a hobby, is a relatively complex instrument. And thus, because my students were not learning, I was frustrated. And no one really cared to learn music, or no one really cared to feel a sense of growth in my program. But when he determined all the wrong clients to find the few right clients, not only do they pay money, but they also join with accountability in their mind. They ask questions, they're curious, they participate, they pay with their time and effort long after they have paid with their money. And it is those types of clients who remember my service till today. It is those kind of clients who tell others about how they have been transformed. But this can apply to you as well. Especially, you could be a financial advisor. Your clients need to learn how to be responsible for their own numbers, to be well informed about their investments, to stop making hasty decisions. These are the clients you want on board, isn't it? Because you can be a teacher no matter what business you run, coaching or designing or legal advisory, it's all the same. Don't just charge high prices of your best clients to make money. Charge high prices that demands also accountability of them so that they can truly have that transformative experience as a human being as a reason of signing up for your program. Achieving this kind of transformation would be much greater than them making 3x, 4x of their investment in your program. I hope this video today has helped you see the work you actually need to do to find and attract your ideal clients, because it's not just about the money. It's about the change you wish to bring into this world by working with the few who value that change more than the rest of us. Until next time, this is Daniel Hogg signing out. Keep prospering and keep serving your best clients at the highest level.